last week, defending champions of the National 7 circuit, playing against Impala, who have had better years on the 7th front. They'll be trying to just perhaps rekindle some of their glory days. This is a team that has managed to just capture the imagination and the hearts of the Kenya Sevens setup. Players such as Oscar Osir, Benjamin Naimba will be remembered as being very pivotal to getting Kenya Sevens rugby onto the world map. And in your picture there, Philip Wamai and Andrew Amonde, players who've represented Kenya in recent times. In your picture there, with a rat tail, Samson Onsomo. He's not a rat, he's actually human, very human, not anywhere near being a rodent. I can confirm that. Kenya Sevens player in the past season, and looks to just try and ensure he can put his hand up and convince the selectors that he's good to go for another stab. Impala playing from right to left on your screens in white, and Kenya Commercial Bank in the screaming green. Ken Mosetti with the ball. Benjo Jema shrugs off 3 tacklers. Ian Minjire will not be too happy about that, and indeed Andrew Amonde doesn't seem to like that as well. Just smashes off Minjire like Minjire perhaps lost his phone.
Well, that was a storming intervention from Andrew Amonde, just making sure the rack was secure and KCB stay in possession. But it is now Impala who find themselves in possession. The pocket rocket there, Pius Chiundu, the offload not the best, but Samson Onsomu heading towards the try line, but the handling error had been spotted. KCB survive. Remember, the winner of this match will top Pool B and will play against Kenya Harlequin in the Cup quarterfinal tomorrow. Our center referee is Amos Wamanga, a teacher at the Malava Boys High School. Ken Mosetti in our picture there, just issuing 1 or 2 instructions to his charges ahead of the scrum down, under the watchful attentions of Samson Onsomu. These 2 scrum halves have featured for the Kenya Sevens, though in different times. And interestingly, both diminutive in stature. This is Amos Ochieng, I beg your pardon, Arthur Ochieng, formerly with Kenya Harlequin, made the switch to KCB. Fabian Orlando just knocking off Samson Onsomu and then changes the direction of play. This is Onsoti. Brian Omondi opted to take it in, but coming under the attentions of Ian Minjire, the advantage remaining with KCB.
Ken Mosetti retaining the ball in his hands. Benjo Jema decides to spill it. Saved by the referee's whistle, the penalty not being taken. Your picture there, Neto Simi, one of the players who's also turned out for the National 7s team and the National 15s team. Very talented and skillful players. Actually played in almost every rugby position. He's played at the wing, he's played at flyer, he's played at fullback, he's played at center, he's played as a lock, as a back row. Only thing he hasn't played is I think, a front row, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Omondi with the ball, very outstanding in the tournament last week. Easily heralded and headed by Ian Minjire. Omondi retrieving the ball, shoving off Siundu. Great tackle from Onsomu. Omondi was hugging that ball like his life depended on it. It has been called for a knock-on. That will be a scrum putting for Impala. KCB's Philip Wamai just trying to confirm the call that has been made by the referee. Impala bench, Felix Davis Makori, I beg your pardon, Richard Sidindi and Innocent Simiu, all looking very sad. They almost look like they're about to start singing a couple of dirges in a funeral.
Probably you can just see the concentration levels on that bench as well, all taking in the action here. Samson Onsomu just distributing his. Neto Simiu looking to carve the KCB defense open. Impala just being patient at this point in time. Remember, in Rugby Sevens, the secret is to let the ball work for you. Let the gaps open up. Ian Minjire seems to have spotted a gap. Cover tackle coming in from that man, Ken Mosetti. Amos Wamanga just urging both teams to play on. And from a loose ball, it's suddenly Impala under pressure. Pius Shundu is going to do the wise thing and put it into touch. He was under the attentions of Andrew Amonde. You can just see the focus, the concentration. It's going to be a 5-yard scrum down. Remember, he carried the ball over the try line, and that is the reason the 5-yard scrum down has been awarded. Piers Shundu, not the biggest man, but he surely has an injection of pace. If you let him go, then, especially me and Ju, I think we just let him go and let's finish this off later on.
Shundu was a revelation in his first National 7 Circuit tournament last year, the alumnus of St. Mary's School, Nairobi. He's trying to pick it up from where he left it off last year. Seemed to have miscalculated that call, getting the ball in, carrying it in and giving KCB a chance and a decent opportunity to attack. KCB with the ball, Andrew Monde tries to barge over, looks to have been held up, penalty advantage. Impala 1-0 in an onside position. Benja Ojema has got numbers off the left. Neto Simiu rushes in, smashes in the tackle. Andrew Monde, stubborn. Shiyundu picks the ball and Shiyundu should be able to scooter all the way down. There's absolutely no way you'll be able to catch him. The pocket rocket, like you call him, looks to be shouting and chanting a couple of things. Try time Impala. Coast to coast try by that man in your picture, Pius Shiyundu.
Yeah. And Pius Shundu just exemplifying the phrase that says the best form of defense is attack. Impala were really on the course there. It seemed KCB were very likely to score. Shundu just keeping his head, keeping his awareness, stealing that ball and racing clear to score under the post, and it is Impala who go ahead 5-0. Neto Simiu to attempt the conversion as the crowd builds up here at the ASK Mamboleo Showground in Kisumu. This is day one of the Dala Sevens, coming to you live on Zuku Sports channels 301 and streamed to you live on zuku.co.ke/live. Neto Simiu's conversion was successful. Impala 7, KCB 0. They will just see the intercept, well read by Piers Shundu, and he did all the hard work there, just accelerating when he needed to. KCB were all out in attack. They didn't have anyone back home. I think he should have even just strolled from this point.
Pretty certain that the excitement just kept on propelling his feet. He kept on just scampering off like one of those medieval horse wheels. And Impala not too good with the restart. So KCB will get the ball possession from the Ken Mosetti. Brings the ball to the experienced Andrew Amonde. Amonde spots a gap, opens it totally. Brian Amondi returns the favor, and KCB look to be quite bullish. They want to get a score before the halftime interval. Benja Ojema passes the ball to Fabian Orlando, who decides that this might be a quarter volleyball. Totally woeful there, and the man who scored the try moments ago, Shundu, kicks it, and an even more woeful kick. I'm certain some of those spectators need to move away. Kevin Ochieng got so close, I'm certain they actually smelled his knees. At the interval, Impala 7 points the bet against a very, very solid KCB, who just perhaps took a lot for granted and were punished by a very nice intercepted pass by Pius Shundu. Halftime, Impala 7, KCB 0.
Coach. Haya, Brayo, every time kuna scrummage, nataka ukae hii side yenye pitch ni long. Sawa. You Andrew, wakianza kumove, unaacha space hapa. That's why every time wanaangalia space, wakianza kumove wanaangalia space. So Brayo come ukabe Benja hapa. Benja mobile security. That hiyo ilikuwa ni dude maze Fabi.
Strong
the two of you. Wacha nikwambie, kile inafanyika tuja string hata 2 phases. Unacheki tuja string hata 2 phases. Kwa hiyo yenye imeinterceptiwa ilikuwa 4v2. 4v2, one long pass. Angalia tu juu inafanyika tu hiyo pass. Sawa guys. Hakuna crisis. Tuko. In. Now, malicious.
And we just see the teams just winding up with their halftime discussions. the fans who have gathered here at the Mamboleo Showgrounds, the sights and sounds of Kisumu City, on location here at the Mamboleo Showground. The Mamboleo Showground living up to its billing and showcasing the talent that is here. And that was Jaber in the picture. Thank you very much to my director and his group of people operating the cameras. As you just see a section of the fans here at the Mamboleo Showground in Kisumu. Just shows you the popularity of the game outside of Nairobi as well. Attracting a good crowd here. Something to do for the weekend. And the Dala Sevens is all about rugby coming home. As the second half begins, will KCB be able to cancel out the score from the first half? Impala just keeping possession. Neto Simiu looked to attack that channel, actually managed to gain some ground. Good distribution. That was Derek Mayar, Ian Minjire under the attentions of Brian Omondi. Simiu distributes it to Samson Onsomu. Impala have been a tad patient. They've been composed. Shiundu, of course, fancying himself there, but Ken Mosetti was back home. Mosetti shrugged off, but manages to keep his feet. No mean feat for the diminutive scrum half.
Impala sent in the entire battalion and the wardens to keep the KCB Lions in check. They come off the better Samson Onsomu with the ball. Shiundu has basically been running all over in this particular game. More like what you probably term the proverbial village night runner, running away with last night's dinner. Shiundu in a picture there. Doesn't really look like he has a lot of pace to burn, but until he gets a rugby ball and all of a sudden he gets into his element. Samson Onsomu with the scrum put in for Impala. Pops it out to Neto Simiu. Simiu kicks the ball, looked very telegraphed, easily fielded by Arthur Ochieng. Ochieng manages to lose the ball somehow. Not too certain exactly how that happened. KCB still have the advantage for a scrum put in. Impala definitely playing in the side of the pitch that they'd want to. And KCB currently being put to the cosh. The crowd definitely building up at the showground in Kisumu. This is Kenya's third largest city. And of course, the second leg of the 2015 National Sevens Circuit. Arthur Chieng looked to have had the ball ripped. Indeed, it was ripped, but eventually lost. KCB have to definitely try and keep the ball deep in the territory. Brian Omondi looks to have done well. Andrew Omonde taking on Samson Onsomu. It's a David versus Goliath, and Onsomu looks to have done well, but there was a penalty earlier on, and Edwin Salamba spreads the ball out to Mosetti, finding Fabian Orlando, who had a very, very smashing ball off his chest in the first half. Shrugs off this one. Philip Omai, late hit coming in on him. Edwin Salamba keeping the ball. Arthur Ochieng, the knock knees look to have actually worked in his favor, and the knock knee Arthur Ochieng straightens his legs now. Goes all the way to the center. That should be a try and an easy ensuing conversion. And the knock knees come back.
And a just reward for Arthur Ochieng. We saw the ball stolen from him a few moments ago. He attacked that space and he was gone. You, however, feel that tackle that came in from Impala was a tad feeble. Edwin Salamba with the conversion there, tying the scores at 7-all. But back to what I was saying, the tackle attempt from Impala was feeble. Arthur Ochieng just managing to break, and there was no one back home for Impala. Arthur Ochieng scored under the sticks. The sides are all square, 7-7. Remember, the winner of this pool will play against Kenya Harlequin in the semi-final tomorrow. In the quarter-final, I beg your pardon. Ken Mosetti with the restart. Philip Omai unable to gather that ball. As we get into the business end of day one of the Dala Sevens, the second leg of the National Sevens series, which is the Kenya Club Sevens competition. Remember, KCB are also the defending Dala Sevens champions.
Of course, I'd like to recognize some of Kisumu's finest who've actually turned up to watch the rugby action today. The Kisumu patron, Louis Otieno, Frank Lusasi, the magnet of Kisumu, and Faith Basie also watching live on Zuku. Edwin Salamba with the ball. KCB seem to have gotten a certain level of confidence the second half. Mosetti retaining the ball, and they brought in that man Kilonzo in your picture. He's getting a baptism of fire. Not so certain whether that was a relation of Jehovah Wanyonyi, the prophet. Fabian Orlando doesn't seem to care. Looks to have been charged down. Sidney Munyafu trying to match Kilonzo with the pace. Has the height. Kilonzo does well. Ball looks to be out, and Neto Sumiu easily picks it. Woofle there from KCB. They had something going on there and lost it out at the last instance.
Well, just a lack of awareness from the KCB players, and the ball has been booted. Can it be retrieved? No. Philip Omai back home, steps. Does he have anybody coming in for the support? No. The referee blows his whistle for an infringement. Neto Simiu looking to get it on and done with. But let's listen to what the referee has to say. After the consultations, after the round-table conference between the referee and his assistant, would that be a round-table conference, Hillary? The only two, but anyway, after that discussion, I see KCB's captain Andrew Amonde with the ball, definitely advantage swinging back their way.
So less than 40 seconds on the clock. Edwin Salamba with the ball. KCB will want to go around and ensure they can string up a couple of points in the kill zone. News just reaching us shortly. The Rugby Afrique 1A match being played in Windhoek. Current scores: Namibia 13, Kenya 6, 15 minutes played. Fronting game. Back to the action in Kisumu. KCB, 15 seconds left on the clock. Sidney Munyafu puts his big frame. Of course, anyone who's quite familiar with Kenya rugby will know Max Munyafu. Now, that is Max Munyafu's son. Almost as big as the dad. Still has a full set of hair on his head, though. Impala just doing well to return back down and keep the ball. Almost lost it. Richard Sidindi with the step. The former Kisumu RFC player looks to try and just pin his ears down. Kilonzo goes in for a high tackle. Looked like it was an illegal tackle. You can see the Impala technical bench, Nika Bok demonstrating, saying hi, hi. Not so certain the referee understands it's a high tackle, not a greeting.
Well, we'd probably have to see the slow motion replay before we make our decision. However, it seems as though the referee awards the line out. KCB's ball, Ken Mosetti to attempt the throw-in. Will it be successful? Will it not be successful? Philip Omai retrieves it and breaks loose, but not to the satisfaction of Amos Wamanga. And the advantage swings to Impala as KCB just make a substitution there. Stafford Abeka coming on for Brian Omondi. As this match slowly winds to an end, the hooter has sounded. And if it stays this way, just quickly doing my math, we will confirm who will top the pool. The half penalty awarded to KCB, Wamae to Andrew Monde. This is Ken Mosetti, Fabian Orlando, Peter Kilonzo fancying himself there but unable to escape the attentions of Munyafu. It's still KCB in possession, though deep in their half. Andrew Amonde had a man out wide, opted not to play it. And that is it. The referee blows for full time. We will confirm who tops this pool. There's an issue of mathematics because both teams have won 2 games and drawn this one. Impala, just in terms of try count, have scored more tries than KCB, and I think based on that, if they're using the try count ratio, then it is Impala who will top the pool. But we leave that to the good old Michael Mwanja with his statistics to confirm that, and we will revert to you in a few moments. Coming up next is a Pool C encounter between Mwamba RFC and Pan Africa Strathmore Leos. That match going to kick off any moment from now. The match that has just ended, a match between KCB and Resolution Impala Saracens. The two teams have played to a 7-all draw.
Next one coming up will be two teams that have the ability on their day to play extremely exciting sevens rugby. Mwamba, the Rock, Kulabu, playing against Strathmore Leos. Strathmore did actually suffer a very debilitating injury to one of the players earlier on. We wish him all the best. He had a compounded fracture, and we hope that the young lad will be able to get the best medical care. And of course, we